Hi there. Today we're going to work a foam roller progression for the quads, starting off with a little hand roller, gently massaging the outer edge, the inner edge, the top of the quad. And then we'll work on the hamstring a little. That always feels good. The calf, working with the soft tissue only, stay off that hard bone at the front of the shin, the sides. And I love this little roller because it gets into so many nooks and crannies. Continue to work intuitively with your body. If you come across any parts that seem to need a little extra TLC, spend some extra time there. This progression, we're starting with a quick hand roller. This can be done any time of day at work. If you sit at a desk a lot, this would be great to have handy. Or before a run or after a run or anything athletic. Even before yoga, I love to work with the rollers. So finishing off with this little hand roller, we'll put it off to the side and we'll move on to the blue melt foamer. This is a rubber foam roller and it's really soft, very forgiving. This would be the next progression. The harder roller is the OPTP blue roller, and this one I love. And then you eventually make it to this evil, yes, this beast gets real deep, but only use this if you're experienced with rolling. Going back to the foam roller, the melt roller, this is a specialty product that you might need to get from a melt instructor, and please feel free to message me because I know an awesome young lady who teaches melt and can provide you with these rollers. Starting at the top near the hips, go slowly and easy. Allow the compression to feel good. Nothing should bring pain. Sometimes bending and extending through the knees, a couple circles through the hips can help free up areas that might be tight or restricted. And you'll know what's going on with your body once you start to move around and explore. And then crawl your way a little further forward to come lower on the quads. Continue to explore, flexing, extending through the knees, making circles. Change the direction of the circles. As you move lower down towards your knees, you might find that this area has a lot of congestion. If you're one to have knee issues, go very carefully here, but don't avoid it. Maybe this is something you spend a little more time on more often. Going forward and back, heels together will help find areas a little wider, a little more narrow. Toes together, you come more inward into the thighs. I also like to open and close. That works a nice little friction. Yeah, so as I move down closer to the knees, sometimes I need to just pause because I personally have an issue on my left knee. Hold on, right here, I'm doing a video. Again, nothing should feel like pain. And here I'm rocking back and forth, some spontaneous movement, whatever your mind and body are kind of connecting with at the moment. Ah, that feels good. Moving on, this foam roller is not as forgiving as the rubber melt roller. As you move up the progression, the intensity or the sensations you feel might require you to either go back, a little regression is not a bad thing, or to take this a little more slowly. This roller's a little larger. I have to be mindful that I don't overly retract my shoulder blades. I have a tendency to want to sink in. So use your core, your abdomen to stay upright. There should be no back pain here. The movements are the same. There's this forward, back, the heels together, then switching to big toes together. Taking little increments downward towards the knee. Exploring and pausing as you need to with any kind of joint mobility. It always helps to breathe too. Sometimes you get stuck and you're so focused on maybe the sensation that you need to take an inhale and an exhale. As we travel closer down to the knees, again, a lot more sensation happening here. That side to side, more cross frictioning can feel good. And now the trigger point roller, a lot more intense, much harder. Those little rubber nubbies dig in, and there's my little fake smile. Sometimes you might actually have to lift yourself up and position more left or more right, depending how the nubbies are hitting exactly in your body. Notice if you're running away from it, avoiding the sensation or the work that's needed. And again, we progress through joint mobility, the compression, helping to release the tight fascia, and inviting more open, free-flowing movement, hopefully without too many tears at this point. If you came straight to this trigger point roller before even using the hand roller, you might find this almost impossible to do. So I highly recommend working the progression. And if at some point you feel like you're ready to graduate and you need a little more, then this would be a great roller to have in your toolbox. And again, as we go closer to the knee, I'm going to take it a little easier here. Maybe spend a little more time. It's really nice to have a lot of space on your mat, on your floor. Make sure you don't bump into a wall. Take your time coming back out. Give yourself a big smile.